As the global health crisis deepens, many are silently battling burnout, chronic illness and emotional collapse. But beneath the surface lies a deeper issue and potentially a powerful solution. One approach aims to reconnect ancient healing practices with modern science to spark real transformation. Joining us today is Kamina Fullwood from Bodyflow Energetics. I want to thank you for joining us. What are the hidden drivers behind burnout and emotional collapse we see today?
Well, we often blame external things like workload or diet. And while those things do matter, the real drivers are deeper. What we're talking about is unresolved trauma, a dysregulated nervous system, and energy imprints that keep people stuck in survival mode. And what these patterns do is they slowly wear down our resilience, and most mainstream approaches don't go deep enough to clear them. So in a world facing rising healthcare costs, food insecurity, and social pressures, it just makes sense to look at the root cause.
Yeah, I think you're very, very much onto something here. But how does Bodyflow Energetics blend this ancient wisdom with modern science? It's a delicate dance to pull between. You don't always get the scientists interested in sort of the ancient woo-woo stuff and vice versa, so to speak.
Well, yes, exactly. So what we do is we draw on things like Egyptian shamanic and Taoist principles, and then we weave that with nervous system work and trauma-informed practices. So it's not just mindset or meditation. What it is, it's a full recalibration of your energy system and your body's ability to heal.
Yeah, certainly interesting stuff there, and you've mentioned a few names there. Is there anything Jungian about this? I feel like the dream work is quite an interesting place to go as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's touch on why energetic solutions are often overlooked with those people in mind as well.
Well, we're trained to treat symptoms and not systems. So mainstream wellness often stops at surface level fixes like supplements and talk therapy and medications. But we don't clear the root energy patterns driving the issue, so we end up stuck in the same loop. So Bodyflow Energetics gives people the tools to shift from the inside out, and that creates lasting change. So what we see is anxiety drop, sleep improve, chronic symptoms ease, and people reconnect with a sense of clarity and purpose.
Which sounds absolutely amazing in this busy, busy world we're living in. I'm catching the train in and looking at people just on their phones and everybody's stressed and it's cold. But what real world changes are people experiencing through this method? What are you saying?
Well, it's people are coming and clients are saying that it's the first time they've ever felt truly free, like something's finally lifted, because it's powerful. Because when the nervous system resets, the energy's flowing again and everything changes. And that has a ripple effect from not just the person, but all the people that they're interacting with around them, because they're coming from a place that's, more peaceful. So their interactions with other people are more peaceful. So it has a ripple effect for the whole world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, as I'm reflecting on what you're saying there about coming from a place of love, really, and living in fear and fight or flight can be so aggressive and just defensive all the time, and ultimately quite exhausting. Is that something you're seeing?
Absolutely. And that's exactly why we need to look at, the deeper things rather than surface level stresses.
I'm curious to know what kind of people you're working with. Are they high-level CEOs and people who are burning out all over the place in urban areas, or what sort of clientele are you working with most?
You name it. I have high-level CEOs. I have, people who run their own businesses, people with Alzheimer's, who are retired. I even had a 10-week-old baby the other day. So it's such a range. It's really hard to say pinpoint any one type of person, but it really mostly is people who have just had enough and just don't want to live like that anymore.
Any tips for people out there watching at home to begin this journey, to start being more mindful, to take a moment in this busy, busy world that we live in and sort of start looking after themselves a bit more? What would you say?
Get honest with yourself. It's all about being really truthful and honest with yourself. That's the starting point. You know, we often lie to ourselves, and then you catch yourself going, "Why did I say that? I don't really mean that." It's, you know, really, how do you really feel? How is your body really listening to yourself, and getting honest?
Yeah, I think that's another one, is listening to your body as well. Generally, if you've got like soreness, stiffness, and starting to, reflect and breathe on these things, you can actually discover some interesting stuff. Kamina, if people want to find out more about the work you're doing, engage with you and get some assistance, where's the best place to go?
You can go to my website, bodyflowenergetics.org.
Wonderful stuff from you. And again, I appreciate you bringing this to the table. It's a nice break up from all the tech talk and finance. I appreciate the deep breath that was this interview. Thank you.
Thank you.